Good day, my name is Mitra Sookhai, and my speech was delivered by the actor and comedian Bob Newhart. It was given at the 108th commencement at the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. on May 17, 1997. I'm honored and moved to be asked to be the 1997 commencement speaker. My son graduated from here in 1989 with a degree in English literature, specializing in the poetry of Yeats. As you all know, when you pick up the classified pages, you just see page after page for jobs for Yeats scholars. I'm Irish Catholic, 3/4 Irish, a quarter German, and I'm pretty sure the humor comes from the Irish side, since the Germans have never been known as one of the great fundraisers of all time. The problem with Germans are very literal, and American humor, we very often are very perverse in our humor, and we will say the direct opposite of what we mean. A German tourist may stop and say, "I don't mean to bother you, but your friend Curly over there has no hair at all on his head, and Tiny is over 350 pounds. I was raised Catholic, and a lot of my friends are Jewish. Others are Protestant. All religions basically are saying one thing, and that is, be nice to each other. In the Catholic religion, as you know, we have confession. And non-Catholics really don't understand how we get into this little dark room and say the terrible things we've done during the week. But if you are raised Catholic, there are certain tricks you learn. You sit in the very last pew and you watch the two lines move. And whichever line moves the fastest, that's the one you get into. We've all done that. Growing up in Chicago, the best time to go to confession was during the Notre Dame SMU game. You could tell that priest anything. "I just killed my family." "Well, don't do it again, my son." And you could hear the game on in the background. The hardest part I found in being Catholic was when you had to learn the commandments for your first confession. The first one was, "Thou shalt not worship false idols." I grew up in Chicago, as I said, and I don't know about DC, but you could drive around Chicago for 10 to 12 miles and never even see a false idol. Even if you see one, even if you do, the last thing you're going to do is stop your car and worship it. Maybe you turn to your wife and say, "Lock your door, honey. I'm pretty sure that's a false idol over there." The other one that threw me was, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife." Now, I was 7, and I always thought the priest was saying, "Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife." And I didn't want to do that anyway. But apparently, it's only a sin if you cover thy neighbor's wife. You can cover all the other wives in the neighborhood, and you're home free. But the minute you cover thy neighbor's wife, you'd better get to confession. I found that one thing that humor does is it makes us free. That may seem like an odd conclusion, but as long as the tyrant cannot control the minds of free men, they remain free. Humor is also a way of dealing with the inexplicable. We had an earthquake a couple of years ago in Los Angeles, and it wasn't until 3 or 4 days later that I heard the first earthquake joke. Someone said, "The traffic has stopped, but the freeways are moving." Laughter gives us distance. It allows us to step back from an event over which we have no control and deal with it, and then move on with our lives. No matter what hyenas sound like, they're not actually laughing. It also helps in defining our sanity. The schizophrenic has no sense of humor. His world is a constantly daunting, unfriendly place. The rational man is able to find humor in his. People with a sense of humor tend to be less egocentric and more realistic in their view of life, and more humble in moments of success and less defeated in times of travail. I certainly don't delude myself that there aren't more important things to do in life than make people laugh, but I can't imagine anything that would bring me more joy. Now, I would like to congratulate the class of 1997. Congratulations!